Really fighting the urge to ask if we're live because I do that every damn stream. Is anyone here yet? Because I'd like to think that I did adequate advertisement beforehand. After all, people did insist that I stream an hour earlier this week, and so I shall, and if this goes well, I shall make it a weekly tradition, where I stream a bit earlier than I had originally intended. Lozzie, hello, so glad to have you join. Anton Schussler, hello to you as well. Oh, I would say everyone's here. We got Alphon as well. Oh, the family, they are gathering round for another gripping Tessellating stream. I suppose I should just switch to the tab where we can see my team and hear the music, and you can tell me if the game's too loud or not, because I cannot tell. Now, earlier today, I rewatched the stream from last week, and then, as I promised that I would, I went and looked up what the next gym leader's levels are, and it's something like 28, 30 and 31 or something like that, so I feel like I'm going to need to do a bit of grinding before taking on the gym leader. I feel like maybe, between the 5 of them, my Pokemon could take out the gym leader, but I'm kind of worried because for those who weren't here thank you, Alphon, by the way. For those who weren't here last week, we kind of got completely stomped by all of the trainers in this gym. I mean, admittedly, we did go back and defeat them in the end, but we had a bit of a time. So, yeah, I do feel like... Lurigaga are here as well. The Jeff squad's arriving. Or the anti-Jeff... The anti-air brigade for those flying Jeffs with wings. Well, I shall turn the game up a bit. It's, 15%, I think. I love the fact that OBS does that when I'm not focusing on the game, by the way. 15%, does that work? And I'm glad that everyone's doing well, by the way. Now, I think there's one place that we haven't gone to grind for levels yet, and I'm actually going to start the stream by heading there first, because, seriously, this gym, I cannot even... I cannot gym. Well, that's it, actually, I cannot gym. Now, by the way, I don't know if this will have any impact whatsoever on the quality of the stream, but this week I'm using a different web browser to, I'm well, by the way. I feel like I should probably answer the question too. I should mention, I'm using a different web browser to stream this time, although, well, it's not the web browser that does the streaming, but I've got the chat open in a different web browser. Maybe that'll improve quality, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm using WaterFox instead of Google Chrome, so if that helps, then that's why. But, yeah. From what I've heard, Laura's suffering from basically the same thing that happened to me when we went to Eurovision, where... In my case, we went to Eurovision, went to the jury final, we went to Eurovision the party, and I've told this story before. When Malta, well, the Maltese jury gave 12 points to the UK, I screamed very, very loud, and I couldn't speak for the entire following day. More or less the same things happened with Laura, although she wasn't screaming at Malta. And hello, Billy G! And yes, of course, we all wish Laura well, because of course, for those who haven't seen, Laura's going to be in one of the 2 Versus series that's starting next week, and being in the Versus kind of, she sort of needs to be able to speak, and so I'm willing to wait until she's able to speak before we start recording that. And it's funny, because the other of the 2 Versus series that starts next week, we've already recorded 3 episodes, and I've already edited 2 of them, and yet I have no idea what to do for a trailer for that series, so... you know how it is. Anyway, I'm sort of on autopilot here, because I'm sort of not thinking about where I'm going, but now I know where I'm going. Although... Oh. What do you mean, what was up with it? I thought it was rather good, although I'd imagine that that's probably the sentiment here. Yeah, that was a thing that I did. I have no idea how to advertise the other versus I'm doing, but hey, I mean, I'd like to think that Honeycam Studio versus the trailer for that came out rather well. I do try. I try. I edited the music myself. I mean, yes, the music already existed, but I cut it down to 45 seconds, and I'd like to think that it's almost seamless. I do try. I try a bit too hard, I think. No idea where else I can grind apart from to the area to the right of here, and even then, this is hardly grinding. It's just, there's this one aroma lady, and then... yeah. Well, I think you did well, Laura. I think it turned out very, very well, and it is thanks to you and your input. Now, I'm leading with Beret here, because even though she's got the best speed stat, I kind of want her to get some levels, because in the upcoming gym leader battle, I'm probably going to be kind of relying on her a little bit to have the right power levels to... I'm going to be relying on Beret to essentially solo the next gym, and I want her to be tough enough to handle that, but still have enough power in the other team members to be able to back her up just in case. Oh yeah, Poland today confirmed their Junior Eurovision participation, which means that I'm going to have to study up on their previous entries so that we can review the song when they choose it. But I'm really happy that they're back. I'm glad, because as is the case with Adult Eurovision, in Junior Eurovision as well, the more the merrier. Oh, I'm so happy. Welcome back, Poland. But yeah, the YSC is very crazy. Like, the recap's right. I do feel bad about how long it's taken me to get the recaps up for the YSC, because I'm still waiting for one person to send their song, and they said they were going to send their song today. So I'm still waiting for them to send it. They may have sent it by now, I don't know. But when I last checked, they hadn't sent me their song. So I could probably, I could finish sorting out most of the recaps. If I don't have the song for Canada by the end of today, then I'm just going to, I'm just going to do the recaps without them, because they were aware they were running out of time, and so they asked for like a one-day extension to pick the song, and so I'm like, okay, I'll wait for you until the end of today. And so if they don't send me the song by then I'll just do the recaps without them. So that's where the situation lies at the moment. Either way, the recaps will be up Friday at the latest, I think. And I know it's crazy late, and we've wasted half the month. We haven't even started the semi-finals yet, so just everyone promise me you'll vote as soon as you can, just to make it less of a headache for me. Not that I think you wouldn't. I don't know why I'm relying on strength so much, because Headbutt has a chance of flinching. Not that it matters. Huh! I was tackled by a magnet. Oh yeah, and Slovenia confirmed their thing today as well, and Denmark made some very upsetting noises about the Junior Eurovision a couple of months ago as well, and... yeah... meow... And another Magnemite might as well stay in, get Beret some mad levels, because she's gonna go back to being the MVP, but this time for the normal type gym. At least she won't be weak to it. Well, no, I think... Right, as I said, I did some research for the upcoming gym battle, and... Really, Beret? Really? Of the... Like, he has 3 Pokemon. They have predominantly normal type moves. I think they have 1 dark type move each. Hello, Total T. One of them has a fighting move, and one of them has Yawn. Off the top of my head. So that's what we've got to look forward to. Half tempted to equip Beret with like a Chesto Berry or something, just in case it tries some bullshit. Headbutt the mouse. You're upscalate to bringing the enthusiasm that I normally do when greeting Total T. Oh, Philly G, I didn't even realize you'd asked. Yeah, the recaps are going to be on Thursday, hopefully, but Friday at the latest. And like I said, I feel really bad about how late they're going up, but it's just because it's such an overwhelming workload. I know that's no excuse, but that's my reasoning. There's been a crazy amount of work associated with this edition, and we're doing our best over here at YSCHQ. Oh, good, Carvana, or Carvanha. Is it Carvana? Carvana? Whatever. The one that has rough skin, which means no matter how I attack it, because Beret's a physical attacker, she's going to take recoil damage because rough skin. There it is. See, I know Pokemon. And Beret leveled up. It's funny how, thinking about it, an American person would probably pronounce beret and beret the same way, but for me, a beret is the hat, and beret is the singer and the Pokemon. Oh yes, property. That's one thing that I've noticed, and... Ha! Clever boy. Well, that's me presuming a little bit, but still. In my experience, and this is just of going to, well, out of Scandinavia, I've only been to Sweden. But of being in the rest of Europe, it's funny, because in the UK, if you order white tea, that's, like, no one says that, but it's taken to mean, tea with milk in it. But in anywhere else in Europe that I've been, white tea is some sort of weird herbal stuff. And I don't understand that. Like, no, white tea is black tea with milk. Don't tell me black tea is something different as well. And don't worry, Felici, Laura told me about it, and I shall be graceful with the stuff. Fear not. Headbutt the boulder, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah, I know what the situation is with you, so... Yeah. But... Yeah, I don't have any further words to say. It's just that point in the stream where I've said so many words. And Ben Jarek is here as well, complete with the obligatory weekly name change, or maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah. Well, in any case, I've not been the best at thinking about things, okay? Now... I'm sorry, I've spoken for 10 minutes and then I've completely lost my train of brain. And so I have no idea where the best place to grind would be, because I kind of, like, I want Beret to level up a bit. But I want the other team members to get some levels too, but Beret's kind of the main focus here. And I don't know how high a level she'd need to be in order to take on the next gym, because I want to take on the next gym with as few casualties as possible. And that's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, because the next, as we've seen just from the trainers alone, the next gym's pretty tough, and then the gym leader's like 4 or 5 levels ahead of them. So we need to get some mad levels, is the focus of what I'm saying here. Well, it's a bit of a loaded question, isn't it, Total T? Because Pokemon Go's not even available in this country, is it? And even if it was, I don't think my phone can support it, and even if it could, I hadn't planned on getting it anyway. So... I don't know how that noise was meant to explain anything, but I mean, there you go. Also, I'm rather flattered that my stream health has stayed in the green for, like, the entire stream so far, whereas usually it's green for a while, then dips into the yellow and hangs around the yellow health, and then occasionally bobs its head in the green zone, but I'd like to think it's because I'm using WaterFox instead of Google Chrome in the background there, because it takes up slightly less CPU, I think. Now, what the hell does that mean, Total T? It's not available, but you can still get it. It's not available, it's available, but it's not available. Bitch, what? But yeah, I don't plan on getting it. Even though, yeah, it's become this worldwide phenomenon. Do-do-do-do-do. Phenomenon. Do-do-do-do. Okay, that was a train of thought. And I maintain what I said in, I think, the week before last. That brick in the middle of Sandshrews' forehead, it feels like you could just sort of pop it out, or like pull it out, and then you can see its brain or something. That's incredibly morbid. And that's apparently the thought that this train of thought's going to end on. Wow, I'm so good at life. I'm just thinking... Meteor Falls, perhaps, because that will wrap back around to Rustboro, which is where I need to be anyway. And... Well, that seems sort of... That seems a little bit cheaty, claiming to be from a different region. Then again, that is how you get LSD Dream Emulator for the PlayStation... Well, it's originally for PlayStation. That's how you get a PS1 game for the PS3 on the PSN by pretending to be in Japan. Although I think the catch there is you have to not just change your location, but also have a Japanese PSN account. I don't know. I've had my fill of LSD Dream Emulator. I've had my fill of LSD. End of sentence, apparently. No. For those who don't know, it's a very, very strange walking simulator. I hesitate to call it a game, even though walking simulator is kind of not the best descriptive term, but whatever. But yeah, I don't begrudge other people the right to, you know, get Pokemon Go. It's just, I don't plan on getting it, so... Also, I suppose this is simultaneously grinding for levels and grinding for soot, because every step we take in this mist-coloured grass gives us +1 soot, which we can exchange for glass items, which I think is just flutes, and they have various effects. I suppose the one that I'd really need is... I forget, I think it's the blue flute that awakens Pokemon from sleep, and it's like infinite use or something? I don't know, I think there's the black and the white, which decrease and increase the rate of wild encounters respectively, and then I don't remember the rest. That's a shame, Ben, but that's fine because it's early in Australia, and even though this stream is earlier than usual anyway, it's still late early time in Australia or something. Oh, wow, this one has like a head moustache. I like it. It's got pie face and head moustache. I don't remember which games have them apart from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, but flutes, they have, like, various different effects. Like, I know there's one that can heal any Pokemon from being asleep, and you can use it as many times as you want instead of just once. And then there's one that makes Pokemon appear less frequently in the wild, and there's one that makes them appear more frequently in the wild, and I think there are others as well. But I don't know. I'm not brilliant. I used to be better at Pokemon than I am now. But yes, I'm taking an interest here alongside Europe's Galway. For people who are doing national finals for YSC 30, how's that going for everyone? Because I think I've voted in all of them so far. Or, well, I've voted as many as I think I know of. That wasn't... You know what I mean? I like to be supportive of people who are supporting me. So I shall support you supporting me supporting you, you know? I don't know. It does kind of suck when national finals don't get enough attention, because like the whole thing thrives on people voting in them, and if people don't vote in them, what are you gonna do? And I kind of had that, because last year I did sort of a national final kind of deal for one of my Let's Play series. Okay, a blue flute, that sounds like what I want. But yeah, I did a national final to decide what one of my Let's Plays should be last year, and only 3 people voted in it. That was still enough to give a conclusive answer, but still, it would have been nice if more people could have voted in it, but most of you people didn't know I existed this time last year, and that's okay. But yes, anyone who's watching live, you can just go into the chat and click on people's names and go to their channels and vote in their stuff, so... Well, that's assuming you're on PC, and PC is clearly the superior version of YouTube. That's the one that I just assume everybody uses, even though mobile YouTube is more popular, and I refuse to accept that because... You know? That's just generally how I feel about mobile phones, apparently. Not too different from how I feel about pumpkins, funnily enough. And I should probably be counting how many steps I'm taking, because... Once you hit a certain threshold, getting X number of steps is enough to get, like, once you pass a certain line, he'll make a different coloured flute, and I feel like it's the blue one that I want, so I need to make sure that I don't go over 47 steps. Or at least not too far over 47. Meow. How many more? 20. Oh, that's workable. I shall walk 20 paces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 9, 8, what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink, throw 'em back till I lose count. JB, thank you for saving me from my awkwardness. You might think that you've missed a gym battle, but don't worry, you haven't. I'm just feeling crazy underprepared, so I'm grinding soot to make a flute, and also grinding levels for Beret so that she can... Right, how many? 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 8. So 9 and 8, that's 17. 1, 2, 3. No! You stole my 3! Do pay attention to Ben Jarrett, and everyone voted, everyone's national finals isn't stuff. Ah, yes. Saturday is Philly G Day, apparently. That almost sounds suggestive, but I can't quite place why. Well, that's just tragic, isn't it, Jamie? Is there a reason? Oh, you can pick! What? Okay. Would someone mind Googling what these flutes do? Like, specifically the blue, the yellow, and the red? Because I feel like the blue flute is the one that I want, but I kind of want clarification on what each of them do, just so I know what I'm choosing. It's because I have a filthy mind, Laura. I could have sworn there was another national final person, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I could be mistaken. Yeah, I feel like the blue flute's the one that I want, but I would appreciate some clarification if anyone's googling it in the chat. Total T, I'm looking at you. and actually, while I'm looking at that chat post, yes, I have the same inclination, but just a matter of I can't make original music and it hurts my soul. But I'm doing a thing with Alphon, so maybe that can be a thing that things. Okay, thanks, Ben. Out of curiosity, what do the other two do, then? Because blue is definitely the one that I want. I think white makes Pokemon more frequent, and black makes them less frequent in the wild, and then yellow and red I have no idea. I feel like one of them is probably to make it easier to escape from battle, I want to say? Oh, yellow's for confusion, that makes a lot of sense. And oh, red must be to get them out of infatuation, then. Oh, that makes sense. It would be nice to have a red flute in that case as well, but sleep is much more common, so. And it's technically good that they make you think of classical music, because it is indeed a flute in that sense, although you can't see them in this game, but they do kind of look like that as well. Like, they look kind of weird. Like, they don't really look like instruments, but they are. And don't worry, Jamie, we all start somewhere. He says, completely missing out half of the required words in that expression, but you know what I mean. It's everyone begins somewhere, and yeah. I mean, I edited my entire first LP just using Windows Movie Maker, and that's why it was so low quality. Well, that, and I recorded my commentary on a webcam mic, and also I had no, like, charisma back then, or, well, I had some, but yeah. I was going to stream at 10:30, but some people on Twitter convinced me to stream a little bit earlier, and so here we are. And I'm... Okay, sort of flash opinion poll right now. Everyone in the chat, should I stream at 9:30 PM? Well, should I stream earlier? Like, should I stream at the same time that I streamed this week? Like, should I just make this the usual streaming time, is what I'm trying to ask. Because I used to usually do it at 10:30, but I'm feeling like moving the start time to 9:30. So, like, would people feel good about me doing that? Because I might. And yeah, I don't see why not, Anton. If you feel like it had a decent shot at doing well. But yeah, so it's going to take a lot of convincing to tell me not to move the stream 1 hour earlier in future, but yeah, I suppose it'll just be a thing that I do earlier then. I have no objections to this whatsoever. Yeah, okay, thanks, Laura. I thought the red one was infatuation, but so it's like mostly in favor of being earlier, slight indifference, and then like one person who's like, no, make it later. But wait, and now we have chat drama because question marks. Hey, I don't dislike classical music either, although, like, I don't listen to it regularly, but I'm not opposed to it, and there was already an item up here. Yeah, I got it earlier. Blah. Yeah, as I recall, when my mother was pregnant with me, she listened to classical music. So, that's why I'm clever, question mark. Well, good for you, Total T. Good for you. See, with me, I feel like it's difficult to dislike music of any kind unless the music goes out of its way to be dislikable. Or, like, if there's a type of music that's deliberately just trying to, like, if there's a genre of music that's deliberately trying to be exclusive and be like, oh no, you're not part of our group, therefore you're not allowed to like this song. Unless a song does that, then I find it's really difficult to dislike any type of music, so yeah. I'm not entirely sure if I've adequately conveyed what I mean to say with that, so if you understand me, then brilliant. And for anyone that cares, by the way, and I feel like not very many people will, but for those that might happen to, I mentioned in another stream and possibly in a video as well, that for my birthday this year, I'm getting a custom gaming PC built, and that's, like, building that has been an ongoing project, and it's working great so far, so yay! That means higher quality streams after my birthday of this year. Well, higher quality everything, but it's included within that, pardon my mouth, is higher quality streaming. Which does mean that after my birthday we'll have, like, a stream of, like, Jackbox games, like, you know, Quiplash, Drawful 2, and something like Cards Against Humanity as well. It's a thing that we can do. Now, I'm going to express an unpopular opinion and say that I'm not entirely sure what people, like, what people have against Nickelback necessarily. Like, I'm not entirely sure how to say it. Like, I don't understand why they're so hated. That doesn't mean that I love every single thing they do. I just don't get the hate. And that just seems presumptuous. Like, what's wrong with classical music? Like, it's classical instruments with sort of timeless arrangement. I don't really see what there is to dislike, so. And honestly, I don't understand why there's, like why it's considered cool to dislike Nickelback, because, I mean, for example, How You Remind Me is a decent song, and from what little I've heard of, I don't know what it's called, but Look at This Photograph, that's also not a bad song, so, you know. And one thing that I find somewhat amusing is that, I think it's, is it the lead singer of Nickelback that is or was dating Avril Lavigne, and Avril Lavigne did a cover of How You Remind Me, so it sort of all comes full circle. And also Let Me Go, which the two of them did together, if I'm remembering right. That's also a very good song, but that was as Avril Lavigne featuring Chad rather than as Nickelback. So and it came second in the YSC once, so. Well, that's entirely fair enough, Alphon. I feel like I've done nowhere near enough grinding for this gym battle, but at the same time, there's not really anywhere else I can go. So, nya, I say, nya, getting progressively deeper and slightly more seductive with every passing nya. First step into the grass and it's a bloody wild Pokemon. Isn't that how it always goes? Oh wow, level 4, that's totally going to get me the last bit of experience that I need. Then again, it was me that came up this way anyway, so, blah. At least it means I could one-shot things, even if it is only for 17 experience. Oh yes, I nya a lot. Apparently, I am just some sort of feline in the body of a human. It me. Oh, that's fine. I take no objection to there being stuff in foreign as long as I can understand it. And I feel like I know what that means, but I recognize the construction. I'm trying to remember what the verb is. It's something like we trust you or something like that. I know it's V is we, pour is like a particle that's like of or with. I don't know the exact translation, and then day is like you. But that's just me applying logic from Swedish, which I suppose is kind of insulting. That's it. I knew it was something like that. Jamie, you very well could, because I did have a custom Cards Against Humanity deck for Lively Planet back when that was a thing. And then it ended up not being a thing, and we got like halfway through making the deck, and I think we used it in like one video. And even then, that was for a channel that kind of didn't work, because only 2 of us out of the 8 actually put an effort into the channel. Well, okay, it's more like 3 or 4 of us, but some put in more effort than others, and it was kind of blech, but you go right ahead, make an entire Cards Against Humanity deck with tessellating in-jokes, and that is if you could have that ready by the time I stream after my birthday, we can make that a thing. Alongside Head of Delegation Simulator, which I haven't forgotten about. Now, I'm going for half an hour, and that's going to be nowhere near enough for this battle. But before we even go into it, I'm going to put Petra in the lead, because she's got Fake Out, which is a really shitty tactic, but blech. I am sad that Lively Planet never really properly got off the ground. That's always how these collab channels go. I still consider it a thing, but evidently most of the rest of the group doesn't. That makes me rather sad. Oh wow. Oh wow, that was very, very not worth it. Stab bonus. Okay, Ben Jarek, see you around. Oh my god, I'm so glad that I did some grinding for this, but this is just... Oh yeah, Facade, I forget what that does, but I know it does a crazy amount of shit, so... Yeah. Oh wow, that was a critical? Seriously? But I do know that slacking has to take every other turn off, which means I can swap Pokemon now with no penalties, and I'm fully expecting this battle to just completely die on its feet, but, I mean, I'm trying. I'm very trying, and if you can get a flinch on this turn beret, that would be great. Of course not! Why would you? Headbutt, because it can't attack this turn. Really? Wow. Wow. I am very this is his weakest Pokemon. I am very, very underleveled. Snow in Australia? I call bullshit. Except, I don't see why you wouldn't, even though, I mean, yeah, it's warm down there, that doesn't mean that it can't... I'll just stop, shall I? But that does mean that every other turn I can boop you in the face and not be penalized for it. And then I can heal, and then it'll immediately take that damage back off me again. Or you could use a Hyper Potion, that works too. Oh yeah, it is winter, innit? I'm just hung up on the fact that Australia is warm. We live in the universe, planets live inside the moon. Tumblr Snackcasting. It's... I don't really have a firm... I don't really have a firm deadline for it just yet, so... I really should get on that at some point, I just don't know when I'm going to get around to it. And you see, you claim to be asleep. But I foresaw this with my blue flute. Yeah. Really? And, well, I'm glad that... I'm glad that my Tumblr snacks have gone appreciated, because they do vary in funniness. And, yeah, these streams used to be Streamy Wednesdays, because I'd do Steam games. That was the joke there. Because I was streaming Steam, and I may go back to that once I finish this Pokemon thing, because, I don't know how to finish a sentence. But yeah, I will go back to Steam games eventually. It's just long-term stream project. And Facade is a critical hit. That's offensive. I take offense to this. Well, I shall revive Beret in due course, because we are probably going to need her. But first. Quick attack! Take no chances! Take no prisoners! Amir Obama! At 7 on 4. I don't know, just whenever I say something like that, it just reminds me of... I think it's Jon Snow. Like, actual Jon Snow. Not Game of Thrones Jon Snow. And, yes, I've heard about... I've heard about Rød Gudmund Fløde. I can't quite say it, but I've heard about it, because I've seen Scandinavia and the world. Trust me. I'll leave in a Mirror Barber and see what happens. It's... Lucario, no. Lucario's Gen 4. This is Gen 3. Sorry about that. This isn't part fighting type, though. It's completely normal. Try Steel Wing, see what happens. Well, at least a Mirror Barber's got that speed. Oh, this isn't going to go well. Because Vigoroth is kind of high everything. I would rather... Oh, I'm going to need a revive. Do I even have any revives? Because if I don't, we're kind of boned. Well, shit. Well, at least we have highest speed, so... Go out on a wing attack, I suppose, and hope for the best. That was not the best. I could have healed, but I don't really see what more Amir could have done there. So if I switched out, I would have taken damage anyway, so... Petra, I feel like I could probably use Fake Out this turn and everything will be fine. Not fine enough, obviously, but... At least it flinched. Well, if we all faint, we'll just lose some money and respawn where we last were. I did say that I kind of needed to grind, and grind times did not happen, and this was more or less what I was expecting, to be fair. I just wanted to make some progress in the name of love. Beyond the fear, let's build a bridge from heart to heart in the name of love. Fuck your critical hits. $1, find your penis. Oh, that's a reference. Wow. Okay. Well, that happened. Well, now I'm ever so slightly renewed with vim and vigor, and... slacking... I don't want to throw Cleo in, because she could actually still take a hit from it. I don't want to sacrifice Freddy just yet. I'll throw in Cleo just to do a sacrifice play. At this point... Because this is an absolute disaster party, I am not counting this as part of the Nuzlocke because fuck the rules. Because I am just an asshole like that. You were expecting a Nuzlocke? You're going to have a bad time. Why would you do Focus Punch when you know that... But... You can't use focus. It takes a turn to focus, and you can't. You have every other. But yes, yeah, it was Helena Paparizou who was part of Antique in 2001. Water gun, because I think this thing's all physical, and this is for physical special split, and apparently not. Oh, don't do this again. You can't do that. Thank you. Because the way Focus Punch works is, yeah, it does that. You need to take a turn to build up your focus, and then if you hit it, then it loses its focus and can't attack. So I'm not quite sure where the sudden double thing came from. 2001, I didn't see it. Although I did hear the Slovenian song from 2001, which was a good time. I like that. I think that's Slovenia's highest ever placing at Eurovision, maybe? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at Wikipedia. And wow, we might actually pull this one out of what they call the bag. And I keep alternating between Mudshot and Tackle, because Tackle is more likely to hit, and we need to hit it on turns where it's tightening its focus, because then it can't attack. And I think we may have turned this one around. Can we get some sort of success hype going in the chat, because we just need to get rid of that little bit of red health and we may have won this battle after all. Never mind. We are still very close to winning though, so bring the bread, bring the cheese, bring the wine. Something about adults and kids. We're gonna celebrate the situation and fight against the reaction or something. Tackle the fuck. Fuck the tackle. Don't fuck the tackle, because that's an actual euphemism for penis. Any case. Soupy Tom, that was your one opportunity. I cried so many sads. See, I would be tempted to switch over to water gun, but I feel like that does less damage. And rock tube has a high chance of missing, so just keep shooting mud. Diarrhea! So, victory by diarrhea. Kinda don't want to call this episode that, but I may yet do if we end up winning. And will you stop tightening your anus? No! Soupy Tom, you fucked a fuckle! And we have lost this battle. We were so close. I know nothing about 2001, so I couldn't comment, Jamie. Unless you're talking about 2010. Oh, you're talking about 2010, right, yeah. Mostly agree. I barely remember the Israeli song. I feel like Romania... both of Paula Sealing and Ovi's songs, I feel like are kind of overrated. Kind of. Fuck, that's not the attack I thought it was. That's what I get for speed reading. Well, we're dead. If only we had more revives, but you can't buy them at this point in the game. Ugh. Yeah, unless there's a revive here that I'm not seeing, we are dead. Well, it was nice knowing you. Yeah, water gun. Well, actually, just don't miss. If we could get it in another sort of stun lock kind of situation, wow, that was a critical hit, we're going to be here all night. If we could just keep spamming water gun and scratch, and it keeps trying to do focus punch, then we may yet have this battle, which would be kind of awesome. Just don't miss, Freddy. Don't miss, Freddy. Thank you. Okay. We're not dead yet, which is encouraging. We could yet revive the victory hype if that's a thing. Could Freddy turn this around for the entire team? Because he's going to get some mad experience if he does. If this is quite a baptism of fire inaugurating Freddy into the team, but please, Freddy, please. Freddy, please. Don't miss. See, if Freddy misses even once, then it's kind of all over. It's all over for fucking. There will be no fucking because it will be all over. Name that LP. I mean, I wouldn't have expected this is like, please let us win. If Freddy wins this, I feel like the rest of the team will have earned the right to be revived because, yeah, it's only fair. Become a pioneer, Freddy. Shove a pie right into that fucker's ear, rather than through its gaping mouth hole. And could it be because Molly Sterling had a piano and Polar and Ovi had pianos and he's only gone and done it? Freddy! You beauty! I knew it was the right call having this guy on the team. He has earned the right for me to revive the rest of the team. That's... I thought it was over. I thought we were dead. But Freddy! I was so ready to sacrifice him. Just so that I could have Cleo later in the battle, but no, it was a good call throwing Cleo onto the bus. And her boobs saved her from the bus because... boobies. Freddy, you beauty. Can we get some Freddy hype in the chat, please? Because... stay golden, Freddy. Wow. That... my heart is actually beating quite a fair bit. Like, I do hate it when people say, oh, my heart is beating. Like, yeah, no shit. But my heart is actually going at a fair bit of speed because... wow. Just... ah! Freddy! He pioneered us all the way to victory, and I am very happy. I can't believe that just happened. Oh, wow. Just so much Freddy hype. Oh, we need to get people to the Pokemon Center. I should probably do the obligatory ritual sacrifice to keep the team alive, but I mean, Freddy, clutch plays here. That was incredible. Just, wow. What even was that battle? I'm just glad we live streamed it so that it's on YouTube for always and forever, and wow. We have 5. We must get rid of 5. That's kind of tragic, so... Anoizzy. And Javine. The physical embodiment of the slipped nip. And Rambovi. And Paulina. Which is a shame, because I credit her as one of the most inspiring... women in video games. And Eyeliner Bun. She was... Oh, I just got the joke because she was born, as well as... Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's the ritual sacrifice done. The team survives. Freddy. Freddy. You glorious fuckbucket, you. Wow. I'm not going to get over this. If it weren't a blatant infringement of copyright, I'd almost want to get, like, a Freddy shirt printed or something. But yeah, just gonna make that a thing. Where were you when Freddy saved Tess? Now, where is it that we get... Oh, wait, no, it's the upper house, not the down house. And actually, before I forget, I'm going to save, because Freddy saved the team. Okay, Sebastian. It took me a moment to read the message, but yes, have a nice life. I don't know what else to say, but... We can finally get Surf, we can finally progress to the second half of the region. Well, now excuse you. At least wait until Freddy evolves before you start with the shipping. I actually forget what type, Almaldo, I think it is. I forget what type that even is. Okay, so... Surf. I would like to have it as someone on the team. I could give it to Soupy Tom, just as an improvement over of Water Gun. I could give it to Freddy, because Freddy's kind of really earned it. We can't learn it anyway, so I guess we're giving it to Soupy Tom then. I mean, it's not much longer till we can get to the move deleter anyway, so... 40, 100, 95, 100. Water Gun, get gone. That was... unbelievable. And I suppose I should answer... Oh, actual Freddy. Well, this is awkward. And Beret, what have you got for me? Is it an apology card for dying in that gym? A super potion. Good enough. And wow, I was expecting her to say something seedy like, oh, don't tell my husband, but I'm secretly cheating on him, or something like that. Like, no, don't make jokes about that. That's sad things, and wait, we could actually use Surf here and get some items. Oh. Item! Look at me on my floating armchair, just hovering around on the water. My armchair is Soupy Tom, the walrus was Paul, and the inflatable armchair is a mudfish. And a rare candy as well, even better. Now, here's a thought. What if, like, actual Freddy were to do a cover of, Radioactive by Imagine Dragons? Because I feel like that would really, really work, but maybe that's just me. Damn, Freddy, back at it again with the quality lyrics. I can't do the voice. I mean, that's this country, and I can't even do the voice. Well, it's supposed to sound like this country anyways. Still. And that's how I feel about that gym battle. Now, our next destination, I believe, is east of Moville, Middly-Boopy-Doo. It would be at this point in the game that we'd get Latios for free if we were doing Omega Ruby, but this is regular Ruby, so we don't. Shit happens. And you may wonder why I'm going this way. It's because there's a surfy patch to the right. Punch the dog. Can you smash a dog? Yes, you can. It's illegal in most countries, come to think of it, but, that was... Okay, that was a bestiality joke. Dearie me. Now, Freddy, lead the team for a while, because you've got the XP share, which I think doubles your experience if you're in the lead, as well as getting you experience. And I could go and do the abandoned ship on the route near Slateport. Would someone mind, if anyone's around, would someone mind Googling what kind of levels I need to be for the abandoned ship in, it's south of Slateport? Because I kind of want to do that now, but I don't know if that's now or later. Favorite nonsense lyrics? Well, I do have to give mad props to what was his surname? Alex Lark from Electro Velvet, because apparently the first time that he did the scat section of Still in Love with You, that was completely made up off the top of his head, and then in all subsequent recordings and performances he had to replicate it, so that was kind of awkward. And yay, we could do another trick house fuck. A tricky fuck. Yes, I do have a bit of a soft spot for skillby bop bop beep bop badoo. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-doo, biddly-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da, reet-deet-deet, sounding good, sugar. You know how it goes. There we go. The thing is this trick house the one with the questions? Because I always guess those and rarely get them right, so... Or is this the one with the revolving doors? Because that's kind of foreshadowing for the next gym if it is. It's... Oh, it's a strength puzzle! How quaint. And of course we have Beret who has strength, so yeah, we could do this puzzle now. All these rejected Jim puzzle ideas. Don't reject Jim, at least consider him first. Unless he's Jimmy Savile, in which case don't even joke about that, because wow. Still gonna lead with Freddy so I can, like, switch him out or whatever in battle. Unless the levels are such that I can. Yum yum, total T, yum yum. Yuji! Any relation to Mr. Knucker? I don't want to hear about Yuji's knuckers. Claire, you need levels as well. Peck the chubby little fighty Pokemon. Well, I say chub, it's probably not actual chub. Okay, well I'll have Soupy Tom instead then, and then everyone gets levels. How do you feel about that? Apart from dead. Because you're going to be very dead, because I'm drowning you. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the surf that you are used to. That was a critical hit, and it was pathetic. And I have 64 HP. Classic. I just made a hand gesture and none of you can see it. Is everyone still having a good time, by the way? Because I was so expecting that last battle to just end in abject failure, and it didn't, and I'm really happy. I'm still riding the high of getting the balance badge because of Freddy. I mean, to be fair, the rest of the team did do fits and starts to get through most of the battle. But, I mean, Freddy is the real MVP. Oh, wow, this isn't good. You could take one more as long as it's not a critical. I could chance sing, but it's got shit accuracy. Rock Tomb as fuck bomb. That's very nice. I like all songs in Eurovision this year. Are there any? Okay, Adon, is that any Eurovision songs ever or just out of this year? Oh no, Revenge. That's not good. Well, that was bad. You know, I'm gonna bend the rules again and just say that Freddy's glorious victory just protects this entire episode to prevent deaths or something. Yeah. All songs in Eurovision this year, are there any that I think is bad or that I don't like? Well, out of all time ever, I don't think so, because there are songs that I don't like, but I can still see the merit to them. So, like, for example, oh wow, the boulder's reset for some reason? That's rude. Well, it varies, because there are songs that are stylistically bad, but I still like them. And there are songs that are stylistically okay, but I dislike them. So, every song has redeeming features. But, for example, I don't like Austria 2015, the Makes, I Am Yours. It's just, to me, it's so boring, and the nicest thing I can say about it is, yep, it's a song. That's all I can say about it. And, like, that was my last place in my top 40, I think it was, for last year. I contrast that with this year, my 43rd place was FYI Macedonia, but I do still really like the song. It's just that this year's songs were all, like, they were all really good, so I had to put someone last, and it just so happened to be Calliope had to take the fall, which was unfortunate. A UK 2010. Yeah, well, yeah, cheese pizza analogy, that's exactly. But yeah, UK 2010, I would like it so much more if it had been sent in the decade it was written for, because it was written by Pete, well, for those who don't know, it was written by Pete Waterman, who is an absolute blithering idiot. He was big in his day, and he doesn't seem to understand that he's not big anymore, and that his music style is horribly dated. UK 2003. Controversial opinion time. I only heard it like once or twice, but it seemed to me like if they hadn't performed it badly, it could have still stood a chance in that general period of time, I feel like. Hold the hard stone for a minute, Cleo. I meant to sell a thing at the shop and then I forgot. Wait, was there an item here a second ago? Did I get to pick it up? What happened? What? Oh, right, yeah, it was... Right. Oh, a King's Rock. Well, that's nice. I'm gonna give that to Cleo instead. In fact, no, I'm gonna give it to Obama. Because... favoritism. King's Rock. In you go. And I'll look at the chat in a second, I'm just, Right. UK 2003, I feel like it could have done better if they hadn't performed it so badly. UK 2006. Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of catchy. Kind of. Like, music-wise, it wasn't that bad, but lyrically, performance-wise, you know. Hard Rock Hallelujah, I thought it was great. I knew it as a song on an album before I knew it as a Eurovision song. So, yeah. And Czech Republic, 2007, I actually really liked. And 2009, on and off, either guilty pleasure or total apathy for me. Because, yeah, it was cringy, but it was, I mean... It's still entertained, I guess? That's where I stand on it, really. And Montenegro 2012 is one that always comes up in conversations like these as well, where it was heavily stylized and the live performance was kind of bad, but that said, it looked like he couldn't hear himself in his ear. I'm not sure whether that would have made any difference in the grand scheme of things, but he was at a bit of a disadvantage. But it was still kind of... Austria 2003. I've heard it all of once, and kind of the same thing as Montenegro 2012. Very stylized. That's kind of a euphemistic. But, take away from it what you will. Ukraine 2012. I don't begrudge people the right to enjoy that song, but for me it was just a glorified football chant and nothing more. I did not see the appeal at all. So, I didn't like it, but I recognize that it is still a thing that other people can enjoy if they so desire. So, I know, I'm just so aggressively over-the-top PC or something. I forgot to heal, but that's okay, because I was going to have Cleo do this one anyway, because Breloom is grass fighting, which means it has a quad weakness to flying, which is completely okay, because Cleo needs levels too. I forgot how... See, I was saying earlier in the stream, I'm so bad at Pokemon, oh my god, I used to be good, now I'm not. Like, I still remember bits and pieces, I still play the games occasionally. What was so quiet about 2011? Did you just have the TV turned down, or what? Have I mentioned yet in this stream, because I mentioned it in last week's stream, I really, really, really want to be able to do, to live stream Eurovision and commentate over it on my channel, but that wouldn't be legal, because copyright. And, okay, Total T, well, good evening. The mice? No, you lost me. Although now I'm just imagining Dusseldorf with a mouse infestation for some reason. But really, I think the biggest victim of quiet microphones in recent years was Slovenia 2015. Seriously, Marietka was so quiet. Actually, speaking of Slovenia, where's Yuri? Is he just not turning out today? Because he has said in the past that he's good at missing streams. Then again, we've just hit 10:30 now, so maybe he didn't realize I was streaming for an extra hour today. Well, that's kind of miswording it. It's not that I'm streaming for an extra hour today, it's that as of this week, due to popular request, I'm streaming 1 hour earlier than I normally do. So... Why are the boulders resetting? This is offensive. Nyeh. Now, if I remember rightly, one of the prizes for the trick house is a master ball. I just remembered that just randomly. And one of them's a red tent as well, but we can't use that. Really? I'm gonna have to... Don't disappear! You owe me a prize, you fucknaster. Yeah. The trick master is a fucknaster with an N. Not quite on par with Turd Nerdler, but it'll do. And so I shall leave, and then... Well, since he's gonna hold on to that item for us, we'll just nip down to the Pokémon Mart and sell the stuff that I meant to sell before. Pokémon, here we go. Singing whilst running, dancing, and... Yeah, there are... Like, as a trope, the whole idea of running and singing at the same time can actually work pretty well. But, stuff like France 2014, for example, it's so easy for... Or Greece 2007, to put so much energy into the choreography that it completely just destroys the quality of the live vocals, so some can, some can't. That's in the words of Gaia Ballant, that's just how it goes. Actually, while I'm here, I should probably use that protein, because, I mean, wow. Who needs an attack up? I'm gonna give it to Beret, because I know someone might call me foolish for giving that to a Pokemon that most people would use as an HM slave, but I'm actually really feeling keeping Beret on the team as a permanent fixture along with the rest, because, I mean, she's carried us, her pickup ability is OP as fuck, and, you know, she's earned her place in the same way that Freddy has, so I think she's earned her ass a protein. Oh my god, Alphard, I didn't even realize that was a pun until you said that. Congratulations. Now, that actually reminds me. Here's something that bothers me a little. Is there such a thing as, like, puns and rhyming words in sign language? Because how would that even work? A smoke ball. Oh my god, that was so not worth it. And I feel like the next Trick House thing won't be available yet, because we literally just did the most recent one. So I shall, I suppose, nip over to Mauville. Just gonna check that he's not... Yeah, okay, he's still not. Okay. Gonna hop over to the next town, sell the smoke ball, and then head to the west, because that's a direction. Now, Estonia 2014. I didn't like it at the time. Like, I didn't hate it, but I heard someone describe it as a cheap version of Euphoria, and I guess that kind of put me off it, but in hindsight, like, there's no real reason why I should dislike it, but to me, I suppose it felt kind of cheap, kind of. But I don't know. I mean, the live performance was very impressive, because anti-gravity ballet, and yet still being able to perform more or less goodly. But... Kanye West. Love it. If there's enough spaces, I might name the next Pokemon I catch that. Anyway, take my smoke ball. I have no desire to continue carrying it. Why am I still carrying the Miracle Seed as well? I should sell that too, because I'm probably not going to give it to anybody. Oh, Watson! I didn't realize that was this soon. Just because I can surf to New Mauville, I forgot you even needed the key. I was gonna save this until later, but I suppose we can... I suppose that is a point, though. If we are still talking about Estonia 2014... what even were the lyrics? Because, like, stay amazing something. Like, is it like Geordie, stay amazing like? Or stay amazing life? Stay amazing high, you're gone and I've got to eat pie all the time to keep you off my mind, woo-oo-oo. And here we go. Do I even have any repels? Because otherwise this is not gonna go well. Oh, another tentacle. It's level 28, well... fuck my right nipple. What am I supposed to do with that? Petra, do some shooty things. Fire what the Japanese would call the seed machine gun. Ooh, bubble beam, how... And, wow. Wow indeed, Malta. Speaking of Malta, and it's kind of sort of swung back around to being relevant again, because today they released the trailer for, oh bugger. They released the trailer for Junior Eurovision 2016. And I forget what I was originally going to say to end this sentence, but I am so okay with Destiny Chukwudiere eventually taking on adult Eurovision. I of the two, I would rather hear Federica Falzon do a Eurovision song, but I mean I want to see Destiny do adult Eurovision as well. Okay, Laura. Well, I mean you're really missing out. I can get radio reception with these bad boys. Wow, hanging on with 1 HP. This is a wild Pokemon, mind you. I'm taking so very many fences. Peck that fucker. A fucker with tentacles. Not gonna think about that one too hard. I feel like I understand why Malta qualified in 2014, but I still don't like the song. And Harden and... of the two, I'm more likely to use Harden, because literally, what's the point of water sport and mud sport, apart from just to be moves that sound like fetishes? Yeah, that's the thing. Stay amazing lie. Like, that doesn't mean anything in any language. That's... If you were to say, stay an amazing lie, then in that case, that would actually give the song an interesting kind of twist to it, because that's like, oh, we're not really in a relationship, but I'm going to pretend that we are, therefore you're an amazing lie. Like, in that case, it would sound clever. But it's just a noise, you know? And let's boop this button. I have no idea if we're supposed to be here yet, but we can do this now, so I'm going to try to. And is this just teaching me how the buttons work? Because I don't want to walk all this way back just to boop the green switch. Oh good, wild encounters. Go, 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 wild encounters, dino, wanna be loved. I'm not gonna take my wild chances. Dino, wild encounters. No? I tried. Well, I suppose if you put the comma there, then it makes more sense, I suppose. I ship you two so much, Lozzie and Philly G. Not Jamie and Anton, unless you want me to ship you. But, I suppose if that's the case, then I guess it makes sense, but... it feels like that's not how she intended it to be interpreted, but, I mean... I take it, I guess. And why am I not just using Mudshot? It's super effective. There's so much more drama that needs to be... All I need to do is have Soupy Tom in the lead, heal him up a little bit. You know... There's nothing but electric types in here. That reminds me, I once saw someone... End of sentence. No, I saw someone once who, was referring to the concept of a food coma, which I have never heard of. I don't understand the concept, but it's something that... It's an expression that I've heard. And... They accidentally spelled it with 2 M's, so they're talking about, oh my god, I'm having such a food comma right now. And I'm just this entire comma just made of food. It's not funny, is it? And Oh, look, an item ball. That's totally not going to be a wild Voltorb. I didn't even click the bloody thing yet. Calm your tits, you Voltorb, you. Oh, you Voltorb, you. Wait, you bloody turd. You, how dare you? I know you're an electric type, but how dare you outspeed me? Have some diarrhea. Have diarrhea 4. I don't think Nintendo Capri Sun's ever explained what diarrhea 4 even is. But still. Oh, that actually was an item. Well, egg, meat face. Oh, and look, there's a generator. This one's gonna be a... Oh, for God's sake, with the wild encounters. This is still comparatively painless compared to what I was expecting, and I can still grind some decent levels down here. This is sort of the speed I was hoping for. You know, get Freddy up to a level where he'll be useful in day-to-day life and not just in the wild clutch plays. What? Who's the what? The cat or water Hooland? This one's the Pokemon. And oh my god, there is so much love in the chat happening right now. Yeah, love wins. Even though you're a heterosexual couple, because one's male and one's female and you're both cisgendered, but still love wins, yeah! Didn't even mean to use tackle. Soupy Tom got his tackle out, and everyone was offended, and shocked and appalled. I apologise. Yeah. I paused there as if waiting for a co-commentator to take over, and I have no co-commentators, so that was awkward. Well, love kills, and only love survives, therefore love wins. Because it killed everyone else, and it's the only thing left surviving. Yeah, I think the only year that I've sat through all of Festivali Kungas was this year, like 2015 for the 2016 contest. So, and Europe Scale 8 was there with me. Oh, Diarrhea 4! That makes sense, actually. Probably isn't, but okay. But yeah, so Festivali Kungas, really what they should do, and I said this when I was guest appearing in 2 episodes of the Euro Trip, which is Elliot's channel, but Elliot's not here at the moment, so I can't properly plug him. But I mentioned how Festivali Kungas, they should use that to choose their artist, but not their song, because when you write a song for Festivali Kungas, it has to be written to the restrictions of the contest, and if it's restricted, then it's not going to do well in actual Eurovision because it's so restricted. So I feel like they should use Festivali Kungas to choose their artist, but not their song. And yeah, I feel that one, Jamie, because I mean, Only Love Survives. I feel like that. I think they were really what hindered him was the live performance. It wasn't that good. Plus, it felt like that, and the 2 years after, it felt like they were really trying to go ham and make it as look at us, aren't we Celtic as possible. Where they have to like they want to really over-capitalize on how Celtic their songs sound, and Only Love Survives was kind of a victim of that, although to nowhere near, like, I have to choose my words carefully here, because Can Lin as a group, as the name implies, is kind of a, you know, a traditional Irish group, at least in some regard, because Can Lin is Irish for singing together, I think. But even with that song, it felt like they were trying way too hard, because, like, in the national final, it was presented as a pop song. At Eurovision, it was presented as a, oh, look, aren't we Irish kind of song, and that's, like, Ireland does that about as often as Russia sends apology songs. Like, Ireland, we know which country you are, you don't need to rub it in our faces. Just wait until Scotland gains independence, and then they'll show you how to be a Gaelic country at Eurovision or something, I don't know, I have no idea. Although, fun fact, if Scotland does gain independence, if they play by the same rules as 2014, that means I'll be eligible to get a Scottish passport. Fun fact there. How much time is left for this stream? Tentatively, I'll say either 15 minutes from now, or until I finish this dungeon. depending on how people feel. I think the problem with 2015 with Ireland is the song was a grower. Like, it didn't have as much immediate impact as it would really need to properly get people buzzing, as it were. Jedward dressed as leprechauns. Now there's a mental image. Alternative punchline. Now that's what I call fucky charms. That doesn't work because we don't have Lucky Charms in Europe. At the very least, we don't have it in England. I don't know about Ireland because it's an American cereal, I think. I don't know. Ugh. And now I'm just shitting all over these balls, as one does. Rainbows and Guinness and horses, oh my. Now, what door do I need to have open up ahead? Oh, that was a trick and a trap and a triddly-doopy-doop anyway. Oh good, more buttons. Might as well claim all the items while we're here. Magnemite, go to bed. Wait, how can a magnet go to bed? Unless you're going to turn into a saxophone and teach me how to buy a canoe, I don't want to hear from you. Even though you are my favourite evolutionary line of Pokemon. From this generation, at the very least. And Magnezone, even though that was next gen. But I like Riolu and Lucario and Zoroark and all these Pokemon that I like from different generations, and I am rambling about things because that's what I do when I don't know what else to say. Fun fact, rainbows were invented in Ireland. I have nothing to back this up, but no one's going to argue with me about it, I don't think. So yes. Ireland invented the rainbow, Denmark invented marijuana, and then exported it to the Netherlands where it was cultivated, and that's how they discovered windmills. Someone was high, and then they were like, oh yeah, well what if we built a windmill? And then they were like, dude, what the fuck is a windmill? And a third person was like, dude, why the fuck are we speaking English? We're Dutch. Wow, really? Huh. I suppose that's true, but then again, there wouldn't have been any Norwegian in the 21st century either, were it not for Alvedonsen in 2006, I think? Unless, like, I'm not professional about the, like, I don't know about 2000 to 2004, but certainly from 2005 onwards, Alvedonsen was the only Norwegian language song, I think? Maybe? I don't know. Oh look, here's a button, we can boop it. But, no, Laura, it's hi, how are you? I would be curious to hear, like, a Danish language version of Only Teardrops. That would be interesting. Yeah, we stopped the generator, and now everything is gonna blow up. We found a Thunderstone as well. I don't think I could use that for anything. Oh well. Well, every single one from 1999 to 2005? Or was that just... You know what, I shouldn't question any further, that's probably what you mean. If that's the case, I should probably look up the Danish version of 2005 then, because that was a good song. I like that one. It's been a while since I've listened to it, but... Conversely, Norway 2005 I did not like. Like, it suffered from most of the same problems as Sweden 2007 in my mind. Like, it was really cringy attempts at glam rock, and just... Please don't do this. Please just leave that genre where it belongs. Don't touch the genre. And which way am I going? Why am I even walking out? I have, like, 3 escape ropes. It would be nice just to have Sweden send a song in Swedish. Just... Like, literally just to give them some sort of handicap, because Sweden is OP, please nerf. But seriously, like, it is kind of a little bit squeal that the last Swedish song in Eurovision was sent by Finland. I mean, yes, it is one of the official languages of Finland, albeit a minority language, but still, I mean, Sweden, could you please just send a song in Swedish? You know, sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of why... a pocket full of why... 420 blackbirds, baked into a Z. Don't just hate it when a sentence doesn't end the way you octopus. Really? Oh Christ, it's level 40... 33. Tess, look at this screen and tell me where you see the number 4, because there is no 4 here. There was a 4 in my health bar a second ago, but... Well, yeah, that is true. But, I mean, Estonian's Estonian, yo. And Swedish is like Swedish. In fact, Swedish is so like Swedish that it is Swedish. Oh my god. That wasn't meant to be, like, aggressively sarcastic. I can't switch out because of fucking... Tentacle, you fuck! Use surf, because at least we have the same type of attack bonus. And, well, I do respect Montenegro for using some variety in this type of songs they send. Because they recognized, oh, hey, we sent songs in... Well, we sent, like, traditional Balkan ballads, and they did really well. Okay, well, let's switch up the formula and see if we can qualify with a different type of song so we don't become one-trick ponies. I respect that mentality. Because I suppose it would get old if they kept doing it, so... Yeah, I respect them. And my nose is starting to act up, so... Yeah, I know, I didn't think I'd find out this way that Swedish is Swedish, but yeah, I'm gonna clean up this tentacle. That's a weird way of wording it. And then I'll get to the Pokemon Center, heal up, and then we'll end this stream. And oh my giddy wow. Freddy hype. Just all of the Freddy hype. No, don't bring back the language rule. I was just saying about how with Festivali Kungus, as in actual Eurovision, if you have restrictions to write around, then songs will suffer for it. Yay, we're safe. Wow, Tess just burp right into the fucking microphone. Oh, you are welcome for that. Well, anyway, we made it out of the dungeon alive. Do we get some sort of reward by any chance? From what? Are you still hanging around here? Yes, you are. What do I get for that? I genuinely don't remember. Thunderbolt. I don't know if I have any Pokemon that can learn that. I'll check that now. But okay, yeah, I am going to start winding down the stream now. I'm going to wrap things up, and in the next stream of Pokemon Ruby, this time next week, we will be heading eastwards. Oh my god, we have Darude. Yeah, next stream we'll be heading eastwards and going into the eastern half of Hoenn. And, wow, Beret can learn Thunderbolt. Well, that's something for me to consider. I'll consider it right now. I'm going to give it to her right now. Just get some type coverage on Beret. And get rid of Tackle? 95, 100, and 50... Yeah, get rid of Tackle. But yeah, so, next stream we'll be heading eastwards, doing the back half of Hoenn, and hopefully fighting another gym, or something like that. And, yeah, I do agree that it is kind of, like, I understand the idea behind keeping the country secret until the results, but, I mean, if you hear a song in Albanian, I wonder which country sent it, you know, it's good in theory, but doesn't work in practice. But, anyway, I'm wrapping up now, so I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and I'm gonna save, and you lovely people can be saying your goodbyes in the stream chat now, because we are ending, and it has been a fun time, and this was a very good stream. Freddy hype, wow, I just go forth and tweet about it, so here's the team. There's the MVP himself, and he is actually catching up quite quickly with those levels, thanks to the XP share. So, hopefully everyone's had a good time. So yes, have been, will continue to be TessX. This was Pokemon. And that's very true, Jamie. I agree entirely. It works in theory, but not in practice. So goodbye, everyone. Hope you had a good time, and meet me back here next week. And I understand those words are done. Yeah, so next week we will be starting at 9:30 PM BST again. So that's 10:30 PM Central European Summertime, and then the rest of the world, I have no idea, but 9:30 PM is the new start time for my streams because it seems to work better for everyone. So, adio indeed. Adio, slan, farvel, das vidania, I think, and adios, arrivederci, I think, maybe, or as they say in German, guten bye. No, that's not what they say. Hey do, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, something in Polish that I can't pronounce, pistachio ice cream, hippopotamus, and 12,000 tiny baked beans riding on